Hello everyone. So in this video of chapter chemical kinetics, I will be talking about rate law, order of reaction, molecularity of reaction, and the difference between order of reaction and molecularity. Rate of reaction and reactant concentration. Let's understand this first. The rate of reaction at given temperature for a given time depends on the concentration of reactant. And the relationship between the rate and the concentration of a reactant used to be given us by the relation which is called as rate law. Now let's start understanding what is rate law. So understand and consider this general chemical equation which is giving us information. There are two reactants A and B having stoichiometry A and B, and they are turning up into C and D products having stoichiometry C and D. If I want to write rate law for the reaction, it would be rate of reaction directly proportional to the concentration of A raised to power x multiplied by concentration of B raised to power y. For removing this proportional sign, I need to put one constant, and I am putting right here is K. So rate of reaction is equal to K multiplied by concentration of A raised to power x multiplied by concentration of B raised to power y. Now here K is rate constant, and which is independent on the concentration and varies only with temperature. And for unit concentration A and B, K is equal to rate of reaction. It is also called rate law. This equation is also called rate law, and the power x and y of the concentration terms A and B in the rate law equation, it is not at all necessary that they will match up with the stoichiometric coefficient appearing in the equation we have taken. The value of x, y, it may be 0, it may be whole number, it may be fraction also. The values of x and y used to be determined by experiments only. The rate law is determined experimentally and express the rate of chemical reaction in terms of molar concentration of the reactants, not at all predicted from the stoichiometry of the reactants. The exponents x and y in rate law will tell us how the concentration change affects the rate of reaction. Let's suppose if the value of x and y is equal to 1, then what will happen to rate is equal to K multiplied by concentration of A multiplied by concentration of B. So the equation implies us that the rate of reaction depends linearly on the concentration of A and B. If one of the concentration is doubled, either of A or B, then the rate would be doubled. If we are taking value of x 2 and y is 1, then what will happen to rate? Rate is equal to K multiplied by concentration of A raised to power 2 multiplied by concentration of B. If we are doubling the concentration of A, then what will happen to the rate? It will increase by 4 times. And if we are taking x is equal to 0, then the rate is independent to the concentration of A. And when we are taking x is less than 0, then rate decreases as the concentration of A will increase. Now the next question is how to write rate law. Let's suppose one chemical equation is given to us, and the chemical equation is the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, and we need to write rate law for this given equation. So rate equals to, for decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, is equal to K multiplied by concentration of hydrogen peroxide. Right here I am not putting any exponent over the hydrogen peroxide concentration, because here I know that this value of x is 1. Now let's talk about order of reaction. For a reaction, let's suppose again I have taken one general chemical equation having reactants A and B and transforming into products C and D. Let's write the rate for this given equation, and I'll be writing rate is equal to K multiplied by concentration of A raised to power x multiplied by concentration of B raised to power y. So the sum of X and Y exponents which are raised on the reactants A and B. The sum would be giving me idea of order of reaction. The overall order of reaction of a chemical reaction is the sum of power of concentration terms in a rate law expression. For example, if I have a reaction where hydrogen peroxide is decomposing and its rate law is rate is equal to K multiplied by concentration of H2O2. So the value of X is 1 here. So I will tell this reaction is first order reaction, or the order of reaction is 1. If the experimentally determined rate law for the reaction is equal to rate is equal to K multiplied by hydrogen concentration and iodine's concentration, both the exponents of H2 and iodine is 1 and 1. So the reaction order is second order, and the order of reaction I can say is 2. Now some key points for the order of reaction. Order of reaction is the experimentally determined quantity. It could be integer, it could be fractional, it could be zero also. For example, if you are seeing the decomposition of acetaldehyde into methane and carbon monoxide, and experimentally its rate is found like rate is equal to K multiplied by CH3CHO concentration raised to power 3 upon 2. This order of reaction of this reaction is 3 upon 2. It could be 0 also. Now one more reaction where nitrogen dioxide is combining with carbon monoxide to give you nitric oxide and carbon dioxide. The rate expression is K multiplied by nitrogen dioxide concentration raised to power 2. And here carbon monoxide is not at all considered because its concentration is not affecting the rate of reaction. So the order of reaction is 2, or I would say this is second order reaction. Very few reaction of third order is known. Very few. The reaction which orders higher than 3 are very less. Now, molecularity of elementary reaction. Elementary reactions are those reactions which are simple reaction and they used to complete in one step. Whereas the another reaction which are called as complex reactions, these are the reactions which used to constitute a series of simple reactions or elementary reactions. Let's talk about elementary reaction first. For example, let's see the decomposition of ozone. Ozone is decomposing to give you oxygen and atomic oxygen. This is elementary reaction. The more simple reaction is not possible for the decomposition of ozone. So this is elementary reaction which is happening in one step and it is a simple reaction. Or the decomposition of ethyl iodide, where when it is decomposing it will give you ethane and hydrogen iodide. Again a single step reaction and simple reaction, that is why we are telling this is the elementary reaction. So the molecularity refers to the number of molecules involved in any reaction. For example, if you are seeing a reaction where ozone is combining with atomic oxygen to give you oxygen gas, what is happening here? The two reactants are participating. That means it has molecularity 2, or it is bimolecular reaction. Reaction like nitrogen dioxide's 2 molecules are decomposing to give you 2 nitric oxide, 2 molecule of nitric oxide and oxygen gas. So molecularity is 2, or bimolecular reaction it is. Why? Because 2 molecules of nitrogen dioxide is undergoing decomposition process. So molecularity, a simple thing, the total number of molecules participating in any reaction is the molecularity of an elementary reaction. Now, order and molecularity of elementary reaction. Again I am telling you, elementary reactions are those which are happening in the one step. Let's suppose this is one reaction where nitrogen dioxide is decomposing and experimentally we have determined its rate which is equal to K multiplied by nitrogen dioxide raised to power 2. Because its exponent is 2, that is why we are calling this a second order reaction. and there are 2 moles of NO2 is participating in the reaction. That is why we are calling it is bimolecular reaction, or it is having molecularity 2. Similarly, the decomposition of ethyl iodide is having order 1 and it is unimolecular reaction. Children, it is not like compulsion that always order of reaction or molecularity of reaction would remain same. It may be different also for different chemical reactions. Now, let's talk about the complex reactions. Complex reactions are those reactions which used to happen in the series of elementary steps. One of these steps would be the slowest step, and the slowest step would be the step which is the rate determining step of the reaction. Now let's understand the reaction first. Consider this is a compound NO2Cl and it is decomposing to give you nitrogen dioxide and chlorine gas. This is a complex reaction and it is possible, or you can say it is happening in 2 steps. Step number 1 is, in one step NO2Cl will decompose to give you NO2 and atomic chlorine. This atomic chlorine will again participate in reaction and it will combine with NO2Cl to give you NO2 and Cl2. The first step is slow step and the next step is the fast step. So the first step, which one is slower, it is the rate determining step. And here we are also seeing one of the product which is forming in the first reaction, that is atomic chlorine, is consuming in the second step. So this atomic chlorine is reaction intermediate. The concentration of reaction intermediate does not appear in rate law. Also, it will not appear in the overall net equation. For example, if I am adding these two equations, what will happen? This Cl will be cancelled by this Cl from the above equation and I will get this net equation. 1 NO2Cl from first equation, second NO2Cl from second equation, that is why 2 NO2Cl in the final equation will gives you 2 NO2 as a product plus Cl2. And this is the rate expression for the given equation and it is first order reaction, but its molecularity is 2. Now the next thing, and this is difference between order of reaction and molecularity of reaction. Order of reaction is experimentally determined property and molecularity is the theoretical entity. Order of reaction is the sum of the powers of concentration terms of reactants, those appear on the rate equation. Molecularity is the number of molecules of reactant participating in any elementary reaction. Order of reaction, it may be integer, it may be fraction, it may be 0. But molecularity is always an integer. Now, thank you children.